Seb, the Realtor here. In this video, I'm going to answer a question I know many of you have, and that is, how much do I need to pay to buy any particular property here in the Bay Area? If you're wondering where you need to come in at for the house that you want to buy, then you definitely want to watch this video. All right, well, before I get into all that, I first want to say, hey, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and I'll do the best I can to deliver tons of value. But would you do me one favor? Would you mash that subscribe button right there and subscribe to my YouTube channel? I sure would appreciate it. And hey, don't forget, click that little bell to make sure that you get a notification every time I put up a brand new, fun, fact-filled video, kind of like this one. All right, so here we are halfway through 2023. I can't believe it. Oh, where does that time go? That's what I want to know. But here we are halfway through 2023, and the market, it's crazy. It's going up and down and left and right and backwards and forwards. It's going fast. It's going slow. The market is everything, everywhere, all at once, or so it seems. And I happen to have been working with quite a few buyers this year. I work a lot with sellers, but, this year, fate has handed me a bunch of wonderful people to work with to help them find homes. And the number one question that I get from buyers that I hear more than any other question is, Seb, how much do we need to offer on that home? And wow, I hear that question a lot. And probably if you're thinking about buying a home, I'm sure you've asked yourself that question. Well, the first thing that I want to know is, are there any other competing offers on the home? That's very important because there are no competing offers on the home, and it's been on the market for more than, say, 2 or 3 weeks. Probably no other offers are going to suddenly magically appear for you to compete with, and you will have a good position which you can use to negotiate with the seller on the price. So how much below list price should you offer, or should you offer below list price? I would say, sure, why not? But be very careful. You don't want to insult the seller. I find that, generally speaking, rule of thumb, there's no science or anything, just my own anecdotal experience, that when sellers receive offers that are about 90% or less of list price, that is 10% off list price, a lot of sellers, they get upset, they get angry, they get irate. They feel that the buyer is a bottom feeder and just looking to take advantage of them, and they don't want to negotiate that much of a chasm. So just be aware that could happen if you do offer a price that is that low. But this year in 2023, when I think about it, I think that every single time I've written an offer for a buyer this year, and it has to have been dozens of times by now, there have been multiple offers that the buyer has been competing against. And every single time, the number one question is, how much do I need to offer in order to get the property? And that is what I'm trying to answer here in this video. And I actually have a really good answer for that. But first, I want to explore some of the wrong answers that people come up with. So a lot of times people will say, well, I see they only own the property for 3 years, and in 3 years, the market's gone up by 23%. Therefore, we should offer a 23% more than what the seller paid for it. Okay, well, it doesn't actually work that way, but a lot of people will think that. And a lot of other people will actually do this funny thing. This is hilarious. You're going to laugh. They'll actually look at Zillow and they'll say, Zillow says it's worth, like $1.3 million. So let's offer $1.3 million because that's what Zillow says it is. Nope, not even close. Zillow, a broken clock is right twice per day. Zillow could be right. Zillow could be wrong. It's usually wrong. And at the very least, understand this is that, any number that you see, whether it's an appraisal, whether it's a CMA, a comparative market analysis prepared by some realtor, perhaps it's Zillow or Redfin or Realtor.com or comehome.com. There's many places you can go online to get like an automated, valuation for a property. What you're going to find is if you check 5 different sources for a value estimate, you're going to get 5 different estimates of value. And it's just an algorithm. It is not reliable at all. An appraisal, is an appraisal a fact? Well, the appraisal itself is a fact, but is a value in the appraisal a fact? No, and the appraisal is simply an opinion. And actually, if you read the fine print on the appraisal, you know what it says? It says, in the opinion of the appraiser, this is the value of the property, right? So that's just their opinion. That's certainly, like maybe an educated opinion, maybe it's an informed opinion, maybe it's a well-researched opinion. But the fact is that if you use that as a number to offer for the home, you stand a very, very good chance of losing it and ending up bitterly disappointed. Another very common way that buyers try to figure out how much they need to offer is by asking how many offers they're competing against, or this one's a good one, how many disclosure packages have been downloaded. Well, here's the thing, is that there actually is no correlation whatsoever between the number of disclosure downloads and the number of offers to the final sale price. Now, the truth is there is no formula that will tell you reliably how much you're going to need to offer to get that property when there are other competing offers out there. I wish there was, but there isn't. God knows I've tried. I've looked at it 100 ways from Sunday, and there just is no way to know. Consider this. The average person in California owns their home for 22 years. So after 22 years, if you overpaid by $50,000 in 2023 and it's now 2043, and if there's anything left of the world in 2043, do you think that you're really even going to care that you paid $50,000 more than maybe you could have back in 2023? And the answer is no, because it will be basically a rounding error. Your property will have appreciated so much in that time that $50,000 will seem like absolutely nothing. So what should you do? Well, I actually have a really great system for multiple offers, and here is how it works. Let's just say the property is listed for $1 million, okay? And so you have run the numbers, and even though I told you that it doesn't matter what Zillow says, it doesn't matter what the appreciation rate is, it doesn't matter how many disclosure packages have been downloaded or how many offers there are on the property, none of that will be able to tell you with any degree of certainty whatsoever how much you need to offer on the property. But regardless, you've crunched all those numbers, the wheels are spinning, and you've said, okay, list price $1 million, I'm going to offer $1,050,000. Well, that sounds great, but you don't know that the actual high bid is like $1.1 million, and so you end up losing the house, and it's very sad. And then you live with a lifetime of regret because you drive by your favorite house like a couple times a week, and you're like, geez, if only I would have known, I would have offered that much. So here's the exercise for you. Let's just say the house is $1 million, and you offer $1,050,000, and you think you're doing good. You're 5% over asking price. Let's just say you had found out that the sale price was actually $1,060,000. If you had known ahead of time the price was $1,060,000, would you have offered $1,070,000? And if the answer is yes, then you need to offer $1,070,000. Well, what if you found out that actually the winning bid was $1,080,000? Would you have offered $1,090,000? And if the answer is yes, you would have had you known, then you need to offer $1,090,000. And you keep on doing that exercise until you find the point at which you would not pay more for that property. Where if it sold for more than that, you would say, you know what? Bless you, whoever wants to pay $1.11 million for that house, you go ahead and have it. I wouldn't pay that much for it anyway. And you know what happens then? Then there's no regret, because if you lose the property, it's like, well, somebody else paid more than I was willing to pay for it, or more than I could pay for it, and you're very much at peace letting it go. But if you could have paid more for it, and you would have paid more for it if you had only known, then the answer is you needed to offer more from the get-go, and don't worry about overpaying. Yeah, you know what? I got some news for you. Everybody in the Bay Area is overpaying for property. People pay through the nose to live here in the Bay Area. It is very, very expensive. That's just how it is. It's not going to get any cheaper. So you know what's actually much more expensive is actually losing on the house and then having to pay an extra $100,000, like 2 months later for a house that you like less. That actually is very, very expensive and very, very painful. All right. Well, that is all I have for this video, and I do hope you have enjoyed watching it. And if you have any questions about, your specific situation, by all means, put a comment here in the video on YouTube, or send me a text message or give me a call. My number is here at the bottom of the screen. I'd love to talk with you anytime. Give me a ring. All right. Thank you so very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And if you've liked this video, I'm guessing you might also like some of these videos over here. These are some of the most popular videos here on my YouTube channel, so please do check those out. All right. Thank you so very much for watching. I'll be back real soon, but in the meanwhile, please stay tuned.